Okay, are we live?
Think it's good.
Hey, there we go. Hi everyone, I'm Timothy Von Rueden, better known as vonnart Online, and in this weekly live stream, I'm going to be doing something kind of crazy. Last week we started on a blank sheet of paper and just winged it, and then this week we're going to be creating an environment that's fantasy based. I have a little bit of a story in my head going. I'll let you know it in just a second, but if you're new here, I'm vonnart and I'm joined by my wonderful mod today, Josh. He will be helping answering the questions and reading out the comments. So if you have any comments or questions, put at vonnart or at schwa, and we will do our best to answer them. And then lastly, my mission with these weekly Wednesday live streams is to create fantastical illustrations full of narrative detail and hopefully to inspire you guys, but also any tips that we can share on the financial side on how to be an independent artist. So any questions we'll take. Like I said, we'll answer them to best our ability. And yeah, I'm a little nervous because I never do environments. So for me, this is a little nerve-wracking, but I have been really inspired recently. I've been getting a lot of environment books. So I'm hoping a lot of this just influence that has been poured in my life recently will be put into the paper today. So here is the little thumbnail I have. Let's see if we can elaborate on this. But so far, and mind you, the story can organically change. I'm not like set on this 100%, but right now, if you guys want to help us build a story, I'm going to be kind of building it together. But as of right now, it is this kind of getaway cottage that a grandfather owns, and the parents of the grandson dropped him off. I'm not sure. I was telling Josh before the stream started, I'm not sure if it's for because they have to do a dangerous mission, but this is definitely in a magical world. The grandson is a witch. I'm not sure if the grandpa is yet or not. That's something I guess we can kind of figure out together. And then, yeah, that's where we're going to go. So as you can see, my little thumbnail here, this is kind of the idea I'm going with. This is going to be the grandpa's hut. There's going to be a little garden down here. He's going to be watering, and then the grandpa's going to be somewhere up there.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys ready to do this? And then, as always, I'm going to mention the tools. So I'm going to be working with my General Kimberly. I'm going to be working with a 3H. We're going to keep it really light and hopefully really fluid. I'm working on Strathmore Mixed Media paper. This is 11 by 14. It's the only paper I work on. And then lastly, this is the Mono Zero Eraser with the circle tip. I really like this for small edge detailing. Oh, and I should mention the Kneaded Eraser as well for big mistakes. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Woo. And something new that we're going to try doing is Josh is going to kind of write down little timestamps so that if you're watching this after the actual live stream, there will hopefully be little timestamps in the description where you can click for different answers or different topics that we're talking about. So yeah, we're going to try that out
best
today.
I can.
And hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, so I guess as I'm starting to do this, if you want to start.
Yeah, we'll say
hi to everyone.
Introductions. Also, if you guys have any ideas for the drawing too, definitely send them in.
Yes, I have a little post-it note. Right now I just put down garden patch, an outside well question mark, and then an outside oven in a Ghibli style. So that's literally all the notes that I wrote down.
Good start.
And I did watch just a few environment tutorials before I started here on YouTube. A lot of them were from Tyler Edlin. I've met him a few times. He's a great guy, and he does pretty much primarily environment art. And the main thing he told me, or told the video, I guess, was to work in basic shapes, don't complicate it, and kind of build a narrative with what you're building based on does it make sense like functionally and conceptually. So that's kind of the vibe we're going for. All right, let's do this.
All right, let's see. Alvin, hello. Slowburn, hello. We have Oscar here.
Hey, Oscar. Hello, everyone.
Oh, Jens is here. Hello, Jens. Aris is here. Hello, everyone.
Here, wait, should I do the reels for this as well? Could you be in charge of that?
Yes.
Sorry.
Wait,
the modern day. So try to do like maybe that angle.
Okay. Hang on, let it focus.
Out of focus.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
We'll probably do a lot of little videos in the beginning and then build up from there.
Jens asks, do you follow any kind of D&D podcast or shows? Also, hello from Denmark. Hello,
Oh,
gents.
hello, hello. Surprisingly not, even though I've been told by so many people to watch or listen to Critical Role, because I go to a lot of conventions with Josh, and I feel like that's always the number one recommendation. Strangely, I really like nonfiction stuff, even though I'm sure I would love fiction narrative stuff. I have read a few fiction books in the last couple of years. The Language of Thorns was like one of my favorite short story narrative books. But I just got this new book from my friend Kat. It's called The Power of Intention. These are the type of books I end up reading more. I'm almost finished with The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's been really good so far. And I don't know, I find a lot of interest and intrigue in that alone.
Yeah, I don't know how you read those, but you do it. There's a lot of good advice in those, though. Well, and you always come out with some good advice after you read them, too. Mm-hmm. So I always appreciate that.
Right.
But I don't know. I've watched Critical Role before.
Didn't you
I wish I
could
recently? Yeah, I did. Maybe I need to get further in. I think I was only on like episode 2 of the 3rd campaign, so I don't really know much yet. Maybe as like it gets further in, it gets more interesting too. Or maybe I'm just not a D&D person. I want to be though. You and I wanted to join that D&D group too. We just never did.
I just don't think I'm good at it necessarily. I like being like a witness or an observer. I don't know if I would be great as an active participant. But I think it would be inspiring from like a just like listening and getting ideas, like pulling and extracting from what other people are saying. So who knows? Maybe one day.
Iris says, I feel like an old non-magic Gramps being flustered by all the magic stuff would be super funny. So many babysitting mishaps.
Actually, yeah, that would be kind of funny if he's a non-magic grandpa.
He just gardens like normal.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe the grandson's trying to like show him how things could be done way faster. I mean, that's kind of cute.
I'm just excited to see you do something. Well, I guess you do architecture a lot with your big mermaid drawing, but like just one central focus.
I mean, admittedly, I think that's why I wanted to do this today, because someone commented on my last reels that I did on Instagram about the architecture being more interesting than the monster that I did. And I've never considered myself an environment person. So to have someone say that specifically, I was like, you know what? Why don't I like try to actually get better at this? Like, why don't I give it like a fair shot and see what happens?
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest problems with environments is I focus on details too soon. So one of the things I really got to try with this drawing is to focus on the shapes first and then focus on like the details later. So that's gonna be my biggest struggle for this, I think, today.
We're turning corners right now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Corinne MP says magical creatures in outside the hut or not. And hello from Germany made it live again. Yay. Good to see you, Corinne. So what do you think? Magical creatures in or outside? Or
I really like the idea of a pet pig. Nothing
highly magical creatures.
Highly magical. Well, in my mind, they're highly magical.
And they're adorable, so yeah.
I'm definitely very pro pig, so I wanted probably have a pet pig, and it's like mostly the grandpa and his pet pig, but not in the way of like for slaughter. We're not monsters here. I like the idea that the pig was like given to the grandpa when the grandmother passed to kind of have like a companion. So it was like this little piglet.
Aww.
So he's just kind of grown up with this pig, and it's like his new best friend. So like the pig helps him do all the gardening stuff every day.
I like a good little piggy. They're so cute. Are we doing like a big piggy or a little piggy?
I think a big pig.
Big pig?
Big pig.
The Ruined Wonderland, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you. Jen says the episodes run on 4 hours plus in each campaign. There are 2 completed campaigns. Each are more than 100 episodes. So it is an incredible time sink. Yeah, Critical Role. They're each episode, 4 hours long.
I mean, what's crazy is everyone we talk to about it, though, like, loves it.
The art, too, around it's really cool. There's that one shirt we kept seeing for a bit at conventions. Or it
Oh,
was like that kind of Muka style. I don't know what character it
oh my
was.
gosh. It's the purple guy with the horns. I feel like I should know this because people have told us this so many times.
Mm. It was, I think, from the second campaign or something too.
They'll know what we're talking
Yeah.
about. If you guys have seen Critical Role, you'll be like, oh, that's this character.
Jens, I don't know how you think, because we've heard most people say the second campaign was their favorite over the first. And then I don't know about the third one much. I just started it, but I should just go back, because the second one I heard is the best. Because people said the first one they were definitely finding their footing with it, or the second one they had it then. Krina says, so a pig with wings? Question mark.
I kind of like the idea that the pig is also non-magical if he's non-magical.
Oh,
I mean, maybe.
their little home, and then these two random magic kids show up.
Well, I like the idea of either the father or the mother of the boy was magical, so the house is going to have like some magical additions on it, as if the son or daughter was like adding to the house to kind of accommodate their magical ability. So we'll see.
See how that comes together. So a pig with wings and looking for mushrooms?
Oh, a little. Oh, what are those mushrooms called? Oh my gosh, brain farts for days. To
Are you thinking about like just the traditional mushrooms? With the
truffles.
Truffles?
Truffles.
Oh, okay.
Those are the ones where specifically pigs can smell them even if they're underground. You know
Do
that?
they eat them? Or do they just...
I don't know if they eat them, but I know there's still a lot of parts around the world where they use pigs to find the truffles.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. Pigs eat mushrooms.
I feel like pigs will eat a lot of things.
Yeah. Aw. It gives them a lot of fiber and protein. Good little piggish. Tam Tabinski, hello, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Jen says Molly Mock tea leaf.
That's it. Mollymock.
Molly Mock. Oh, from Critical Role.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that shirt was really cool. Maybe we'll give it a go sometime. I don't know if they do a podcast. I think it's all just Twitch, as far as I know.
I mean, I'm not opposed. So I was also told to draw trees. You should draw circles first and then kind of give it this textured edge. All right, I'm going to take off my glasses. And kind of give the illusion of the tree without actually having to draw the tree. Right?
Jen says, I got into the show with the second campaign, so I love it. But the first campaign is kind of well established as something beautiful, charming, and new, which sparks nostalgia for people. We'll definitely give it a go. If anything, I think maybe just watch like the second or something episode. Kind of get into it a little bit just to see it and feel it out. And then try
I feel
it
like I would have you watch it or listen to it first because I feel like you're a good gauge for me on fantasy stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's good, but I think because I have a similar taste to you when it comes to that kind of stuff, you'd be like, Tim, I don't know if you like this, or yeah, Tim, it's like right down your alley.
I guess, yeah. R says one non-magical parent would also explain why the grandpa is new to magic stuff. His in-law and grandchild could be his first exposure to it.
Oh, that's true. I kind of like the idea of maybe if, like, let's say the son was non-magical, and then his wife was, maybe the wife had a hideaway. Like maybe in this world, magic's not fully accepted yet. So during the hideaway, because I like the idea of the house incorporating elements of magic, but it looks like it was tacked on after the house was built. So I really want to create the storyline of either the son, the daughter, or whatever it was, they like had to add to it to make it livable for them.
I like the shape that's coming out right now with this, though.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm still not fully sold on it. I think because this is still so new for me and doing this live, I'm trying to just focus. Well, if you just keep focusing on the questions and stuff, I'm going to kind of focus down here. Because you're making me nervous watching, too.
What? Okay, I'm just... Okay. I'm
like, don't look at it yet.
I'm still looking at it. Oscar says, so glad to see you draw environments.
Oh,
right?
Well, thank you, Oscar. I mean, maybe you won't say the same after we're finished.
Oh my god.
You'll be like, oh, Tim, maybe stick with the characters.
Ara says, Timothy, basically draw a circle and make it spicy.
For what?
Ara says, Timothy, and then quotations, basically draw a circle and make it spicy.
Oh, yeah. For the tutorial. I mean, it kind of worked. Like, I kind of get tree vibe from that. I'll do like a smaller one over here.
Oh, yeah. Jen says, or no, sorry, Victor Rossi says, I would love to see Scarlet Witch in your style.
The Marvel character?
I think.
To be honest, I don't even know anything about Scarlet Witch. Besides, she has the show with Loki on Disney Plus.
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah, I do not know much about her either. That's Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Jen says grandparents have a tendency to indulge their grandparents in delight in their individuality. So I don't know if you can portray that.
Say that again?
Jen says grandparents have a tendency to indulge their grandchildren and delight in their individuality. Oh. So I don't know if you can portray that. That's actually a good way to describe grandparents.
I mean, I know something for sure I want to do is I want the little boy to be wearing like this little witch hat. And then I almost want the grandpa to be wearing it out of... Or instead, maybe I could have them both wear like the same overalls. And like the grandson's wearing the overalls that his own dad wore when he was little. Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, so then we're going to do... The father and the grandpa are not magical, but then the son's wife was, and then they had this magical child. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Tam asks, do you draw landscapes, nature, environment, or buildings?
None of the above. This is all new, very new for me. So like I said, I'm kind of just winging it today. Last week I just kind of winged it for this female profile character that we created, and I didn't really have a set direction, but I really liked the end result. So I'm kind of trying to do the same and bring that attitude into this week. I do have my Pinterest board that I quickly created before the stream started as well. As like my reference help here. I know whenever like doing a new subject matter or something that you're not comfortable with, so like for me, I'm not comfortable doing environments. The best way to get better at them is just by doing them, just by practicing, watching videos if that's your thing, and then try to grow from each time you do it. And I do want to do more environments eventually because I do want to create my storybook at some point in the future. And to do that, I really need to make sure I can create environments, because I don't want all the backgrounds just to be empty, void, white creations.
I mean, your digital stuff, I think it was your Miko one was really good too, where you did the city.
I would say that was average. I don't think it was successful in a lot of ways, but it was a great learning experience. But I really do feel like they could have been better. That's why I do think maybe even taking a course might be helpful for me.
Oh, just for buildings and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I also like the idea of this house being slightly older, so there would be moss growing on a lot of the roofs. And then there was this one image I found where even there was like little flowers growing on the roof.
Could you have a tree growing out of it?
No, because the roots would be too thick.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Cute idea, though. I mean, eventually I could do like a home inside of a tree.
I mean, that would be so cute. Oh, like
kind of a
the
fantasy
gnomes and
staple.
goblins. Yeah. Oh, Hannah's here.
Oh, hey,
Yay,
Hannah.
finally have a free Wednesday. Good morning, boys. Hello, Hannah.
Morning, Hannah.
Hannah's my best friend that lives all the way in Washington State, which is like a 5-hour flight away. I miss her. Ethan said Scarlet Witch is awesome. She has telekinesis, energy, like an energy beam, and mind control power. The actress makes her seem super witchy. Yeah, I don't know. Tim and I don't really watch too many superhero movies, so I don't know much about Scarlet Witch.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of superhero stuff. I would say the ones that have caught me off guard, though, is Watchmen I really enjoyed back in the day. And then I feel like there was kind of Sin City. I guess that's kind of comic booky, but not really superhero-y. Yeah, I would say Watchmen. Watchmen was like the one superhero movie that I did genuinely enjoy. And there's been like a few here and there. I actually kind of liked Winter Soldier. I thought Deadpool was kind of funny, so there's some hits in there as well.
Alvin says hello. Hello, Alvin. Good to see you.
Hi, Alvin.
Ash asks, when you draw your characters, how do you make the finished pieces look completed and interesting to look at, despite sometimes having negative space around them? Love the drawing so far.
So a lot of that, I think, deals with the composition. If you have an interesting composition, the silhouette of the subject matter, whatever it is, will be intriguing against like a negative space or like an empty background. Ooh, is that tower too phallic?
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's Grandpa.
This grandpa has some taste.
Or a hidden secret. So even with this building, I think that's why environments are tough for me. But I think where I can find comfort is to do environments on like a blank background. So we'll see. We'll see if that can actually pull through for me or not.
Oscar says, I think we should peer pressure Tim into drawing landscapes.
I'm not opposed.
The one you did with the flower field was really cute. And it was really good.
Thank you. I mean, that one was kind of cheating because there was no actual buildings or structure. But that one was fun to work on, I will say.
Should I spin the rainbows again?
No. I kind of like it steady.
Okay.
So I think this is where this stage gets interesting for me. Because I don't want to start over-rendering, but I'm still not exactly sure. You know what? Okay.
Oh, what to do next with it?
Maybe I'll start building functionality, so like stairs.
They call that it's the foreground, right? Everything that's like here? Or is that the...
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little difficult because this is so drawn in orthospective view rather than perspective. But if I had like if the garden went all the way to the camera and there were like flowers really big and close up, those would be foreground. This would be middle ground. And if I had like a distant castle in the backpack, that would be background.
Okay.
But this is all kind of on the same plane.
Jen says, I'm sometimes afraid of trying to learn about something within an artistic field because I feel that the art industry is designed to remove the interesting ideas unless they are blockbusters.
Wait, say that again?
Jen says, I'm sometimes afraid of trying to learn about something within an artistic field because I feel that the art industry is designed to remove the interesting ideas unless they are blockbusters.
I mean, I do agree that usually blockbuster stuff tends to run more like easily digestible, more vague a lot of the times. I'm gonna take this off and get it warm. But I don't think that's fair necessarily to say for all blockbusters. Well, no, I kind of do agree with that for the most part. But I don't think that should scare you from doing stuff. I think if anything, let it inspire you in contrast. So because a lot of blockbuster stuff tends to seem so vague and uninteresting nowadays, by contrast, try to make your stuff as interesting and vibrant and kind of opposite of that as you can.
Alvin says you never watch Avengers.
I have
No.
not. I think I saw the very first one in the theaters, like back when I was younger. I don't remember it that well, to be honest, but I didn't necessarily care for it that much either.
I don't think you and I've ever seen one of them together in the 4 years we've been together now. I feel like maybe before that, I can't remember the last, honestly, I think it was with my parents, to be honest, because that had to be, I don't remember what movie it was. Hulk, maybe? That was like the last superhero movie I went to actually see. Oh, hey, Corey. It's funny, the WandaVision limited series show is one I think you would actually like. It's very much about her personally and not really a superhero story. Yeah, I've heard good things about that one. The WandaVision show.
Yeah, I have heard good things.
Doesn't Kat like it?
Well, the problem with, so my best friend Kat, we always talk about how I think she has some of the worst taste ever in cinema. She like really loves the new Aladdin movie. Her favorite movie of all time is Sucker Punch. So like we get into discussions a lot about this.
Okay, I like Sucker Punch.
To each their own. But I will say, if she likes a movie, that is usually a good sign for me to run the other way. But I don't think she did like WandaVision, so maybe I would. Considering the test of do I think I'll like something based on Kat, yeah, that would usually be a sign that I would like it.
Poor Kat.
No, she agrees. She'll openly say she thinks she has bad taste. But it doesn't bother her, which I kind of respect.
Yeah, she owns it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but Sucker Punch, this is a discussion for another day, but I actually like that movie too.
We are not talking about Sucker Punch.
Oh, Amy's here. Hi, Tim and Josh. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you doing, Amy?
I'm like waiting for the response. Light says the problem with Marvel stuff is if you miss something, then there's like a whole bunch of stuff to catch up on. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know if... I can't remember the last Marvel movie I saw, Timmy. Did we see any together?
Don't ask me. No. I'm going to have the little, if you kind of see the witch boy, he's going to be down here watering something. I don't exactly know what. And then the grandpa is going to look from up here. So I like the idea of when I see environments drawn well, or at least ones that I enjoy, there's usually a narrative within the story of the characters doing something. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here.
Jen says, it is actually a good point that things can inspire you in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I saw Thor in the Avengers, and while it was interesting, I felt nothing.
I think that's how it is for me watching superhero movies. There's not a lot of response that I get from them. So that's typically why I don't watch them very often. But then every now and then I'll watch a movie that kind of the same vein where I can't stand it. So like the new Titane, even though it won the Cannes Film Festival and the Palme d'Or winner, I forced Josh to watch it, and I haven't seen it before either at that point, and it was one of the worst films I think I've seen in a long time.
Oh, you're talking about Titane?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
And Josh hated it, but it's good though because it gives me context of what I don't like in stories and what I don't want to do in my own world. So in a way, I am still glad we watched it because it gave me contrast of what I don't want to be doing within my own works.
Oh, that movie.
So I think even with I think it's like having the mindset of you can take away anything from um, good and bad. So in that case, that to me was a bad, but it gave me context of what not to do. So I guess I could watch more Marvel films with that mindset in mind.
Oh my god. Amy. Oh wait, hang on. Don't miss one. Lights and Sea says, "Hello, Lights and Sea."
Hey,
It's
Jim.
a gem, yeah. Out of love, Sucker Punch. If it wasn't all in her head and about abuse, but I guess that's the movie. There are some questionable parts. Oh, Marie,
Hi, Mary.
thank you so much.
Thank you for subscribing.
There are some questionable parts, but some of the action sequences are a little cringy.
Well, okay, I will. In defense of Sucker Punch, which is strange for me even saying this, I watched this review response about it where it was talking about it was like this essay about what if the baby doll isn't the main character, but it's actually what's the other girl? The sister.
The one that gets out at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently, if you imagine that as the main character and Baby Doll being this fictional character that lives in her head, maybe I'll just link the YouTube video in the Discord. I thought it was pretty interesting. To me, it makes Sucker Punch more digestible because otherwise it just seems very like teenage boy fantasy with these scantily clad protagonists. And then the other thing that usually bothers me, and it's what one of my favorite reviewers, YMS, talked about in his review, is the first battle is Baby Doll versus this big Japanese soldier guy that's like full of armor or whatever. And the first hit, he hits Baby Doll and she flings like 200 feet back and gets like destroys the ground. And then she gets up without a scratch. So then the whole argument is just let the weapons hit you. Let the bullets deflect them with your eye. It doesn't matter. You won't get hurt. Like there's no reason to even battle or to block or to guard or to evade. So that's why none of the battles really have any weight to them because there's no consequence. Which I think that was another thing I realized watching the movie is nothing matters. Like watching the battle scenes, like it's just like okay, come on.
I know because it's all in their head. So when you envision yourself in your head, you feel invincible, even though you're not to the world. I don't know. That was like the concept of it.
Which I guess I
think
could
for a
get
movie,
behind that.
yeah, I think for a movie though, it didn't work.
I mean, the thing is, I guess that's not my type of film, but I can't discredit that maybe there are some people that love just action without it having to have a weight or meaning behind it. I think the older I get, the more I'm okay with people liking movies that I can't stand. I think one of the big learning lessons was watching Frozen. I did not care for Frozen, but I remember it was like the 2 weeks after I was, moaning and talking to everyone about how much I didn't like Frozen. And then I saw my nieces and they were dressed up as Anna and Elsa and they're sisters and they were like in love with it. They were singing the songs, they were prancing around. And I think it made me realize I'm clearly not the demographic for the movie. But also if something that is in the entertainment field can give so much joy to these two little kids, why am I like, poo-pooing on it? And I think that was a good life lesson for me of realizing, not all movies were made for you specifically, Tim, and there can be people that like things that you hate. But I think what bothers me is when people can't get into a good discussion about like why they like it, because I love a good film discussion. But when people are like, oh, I hate it. And if it's a movie I really like, I'll be like, well, why? And they're like, oh, I can't stand it. I'm like, well, why? I think that's when I get into like more serious debates with people.
Yeah, you're good at making people back up what they're saying.
I feel like you gotta. Because I feel like there are definitely some movies that I think are questionable that I really enjoy. I call them more like guilty pleasures. But I'm also very aware that if I like it, I have to be able to explain why I like it. So that if someone questions me about it, I don't feel like I'm just, I don't know, talking out my ass a little bit, you know? There's
Yeah.
actually like contextual reasons why I enjoy something. Like for instance, what's a typically bad? 13 Ghosts. Guilty pleasure of mine. I can recognize, yeah, it's not the greatest cinema. It's not like this cinematic
I
masterpiece.
don't think I've seen that.
Yes, you have. 13 Ghosts?
Of Scooby-Doo?
No.
That's the only 13 Ghosts movie I know.
Oh my god. Could you use your laptop?
I only know 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
No, you know this
Tim,
movie.
I only know 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
I don't know this movie.
Yet with the family that moves into a glass house, and then there's 13 ghosts in the basement, and then one by one, the house is like this giant contraption that opens the doors for each of them being released.
I actually have never seen this movie.
Yeah, right.
I promise you. But I have seen 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
I don't think I can believe that you haven't seen.
I have not seen it.
You're such a horror fan.
I know I've not seen that.
What?
You should watch it.
I would
It
definitely
looks
watch it
interesting.
again.
And then we could watch 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo afterwards. Because similar concept to what you just described.
Well, 13 Ghosts, I mean, yeah, it's not the greatest in a lot of aspects, but I love the idea of this unknown family inherits a house that is like this giant summoning contraption that has these 13 ghosts in the basement, and then as time moves on, this contraption unlocks one door by the next door, and the crazy thing is you can't see them unless if you're wearing these glasses.
Oh, I like that.
So, okay, I'm going to go on a little movie tangent for a second. So, it's actually based on an original 13 Ghost movie that was either in like the 60s or 70s.
13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo?
Get out of here.
Oh, okay.
No. And they would take people to the theater. When you go in to go see it in the theaters, they would give them like these special glasses. Oh, thank you. Oh, Josephino. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Joe, is this the Joe from AI Joe? That's crazy. How are you doing? But anyways, if you went to the theater to go see it in the movie, they'd give you these glasses, and then they would tell you when to put the glasses on so you could see the ghosts in the movie.
Oh,
it was kind of like this. Yeah.
How?
I don't know. Isn't that crazy? So then when they remade it, they took out that, but in the actual movie, they made it so that you'd have to like wear these goggle-looking things. But the scariest part for me is, well, it's not really that scary. 13 Ghosts really isn't scary. I think it's just really cool. But there's some points where you could be being attacked by a ghost and you wouldn't even know it, so you can't see them.
Oh. I mean, it sounds fun. It doesn't sound scary to me. It just sounds like a fun movie.
To me, it's more like an action movie. Has anyone here seen 13 Ghosts? Am I crazy? Is this like a millennial thing that... Am I too old?
13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo does count as well. Wait,
No,
Jen
it does
says,
not.
hang on. Jen says 13 Ghosts of... Hang on. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo is funny because the guy playing Shaggy is also in the other movie.
Yes. Yeah, he's like the assistant to the main bad guy.
Oh, weird. The voice actor?
So the guy in the live-action Scooby-Doo, who was also
Oh, who
in
played
Scream,
Shaggy.
who played Shaggy,
Yeah.
is in 13 Ghosts.
Oh my god.
Right?
All right, let's see. Amy says, "I'm doing well. Question: Can I send you a bar of the vegan soup vegan soap I made?
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
A bar of the vegan soup.
Actually,
I mean,
we have
yes.
I'm pretty sure the P.O. box should be listed below already.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yep, PO Box 124. Yeah. Oh my god, soap is so good.
Well, thank you so much, Amy.
Actually, my friend Hannah bought me a bar of soap too, and I'm kind of finding I like bars of soap again. I've not used them in a while. Lena says, oh wait, no, I missed something. Oh, Oscar says, Josh, do you draw or do any form of creative art form? Existing is my art form.
Well, Josh plays piano.
Yeah, no, I was kidding. Yeah, I play piano. And actually, I've been practicing pretty much every day now for an hour, so that's been nice. But yeah, I do piano. I like it.
Wait, question for you guys. Should I also make the house double as like a little shop that he sells things in? It could be either like things that they're growing or things that he makes? Because I could make the storefront like here.
Oh, that's cute.
So maybe the boy is helping the grandfather run the shop, like just the two of them while the parents are gone, because usually the son would help with the shop.
Oh, there definitely has to be some Dirt Kid cameos in here too.
Oh, they would be so small. They'd be like,
Yeah. And
oh, it is Josephino. Oh my gosh, Joe, how are you doing? It's been so long. Oh my God. So Joe was one of my classmates back in the day when we went to school together at a school that no longer exists.
oh, and then Joe and
Well,
Amy
actually,
are here too.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Amy's also here, Joe. Oh, this is crazy.
This reunion. Lena says, like for me, Spider-Man No Way Home and X-Men Days of Future Past mean a ton because it feels great to see actors come back a decade later, and the movie is great because they really care.
I did hear the new Spider-Man's really fun. They said it doesn't really make sense, but they said it's a lot of fun. And it's very fan servicey, so they give the fans what they want from the series. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I actually don't know, but that's what I heard. Oh, hi, Casper.
Oh, is Casper here too? I saw Astrid come by for a second as well. Oh, hi, Casper. Do you want to come say hi to everybody on stream?
He's like, absolutely not.
Heck no. Jen says magic often have some animals creatures around in Ghibli movies. A cat would be oh, Casper did come over here. A cat would be a classic, but maybe some hybrid animal.
So I don't know if you saw the beginning, but I think we're gonna do a pig.
Just a good old pig.
I'm a big pig fan, so actually we're gonna do the pig here. So the pig is gonna follow the grandpa. It's gonna be a huge pig.
Oh, he is huge. Oh, he's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Jim says, oh, this is in regards to, oh my gosh, Sucker Punch. Let's face it, I went to the movie for Zack Snyder's style, fresh off 300, but the plot totally turned me off.
I couldn't agree more. I actually think 300 was really great, and then I didn't care for Sucker Punch that much, but I do think Zack Snyder has a very fun eye. I think he creates visually fun movies. They're like feasts for the eyes. So I definitely like that part of his style and aesthetic as a director.
Ruin Wonderland says, this is one reason why I like Daredevil, the series, because it doesn't make the superhero seem like he can just take anything from hits to bullets without getting hurt.
I don't know a lot about that one.
Actually, there was this video I watched yesterday, and technically superhero movies, like a lot of TV shows romanticize things. So, like, 13 Reasons Why kind of romanticized that, you know what I mean? And then you have Euphoria, which maybe in a way romanticizes drugs. They were saying superhero movies romanticize,
Thank you, Desislava Lazarova. That is a great name. Desislava Lazarova. That's great.
but superhero movies romanticize vigilantism. Is that the right word?
Vigilantism?
Yeah. Where it's like someone taking kind
The law in
of
their
justice in their own hand. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I see that.
Let's see. Oh, Hannah says, I don't love many superhero movies, but I am very excited to see Sparkly Vampire Boy portray Batman. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Robert.
Oh my gosh.
You want to see? You said you would see that one, right?
I said I would see.
Not like in theaters, but
not in theaters.
Yeah.
I have a big theory of, like, so if I personally don't care for superhero movies that much, then I shouldn't be supporting them in the theaters, like giving money to them. Because it's this whole theory that, well, if you don't want to see something, then stop supporting it. So like even this isn't even about superhero movies, but maybe like blockbuster films in general. If we feel the quality of them have gotten so low, then we got to stop supporting them as like a movie watching society. I think really trying to watch these more artistic movies that feel they have more integrity behind the intention. So for me, like we went to go see the Wes Anderson film, and the French Dispatch, and like I loved
Oh,
it.
it's so good.
And I want to see more of that. So those are the type of films I want to go see in the actual theater.
Ethan says I don't like Frozen, but it was pretty meh to me. But I think it was good since it's very kid oriented and went over depression.
Went over depression. You mean with
But
Elsa?
I think it was good since it's very kid oriented. Went over depression. Yeah, probably. Maybe with Elsa. Yeah. I guess in a way, her running away.
I mean,
the subject matter was interesting.
like I said, it wasn't for me, but I can understand why people would like it. I mean, I feel funny because the only movie I've really brought up besides French Dispatch was 13 Ghosts. Or, did anyone in the comments talk about that one at all?
Oh.
Or no? Am I the only one that's seen it?
I'm not seeing. Hang on.
I'm really
I'm
the
scrolling.
only one that saw 13 Ghosts. I mean, I know it's not great.
I don't know what. Ethan's typo made me laugh first. I saw 12 Ghost and then asterisk 13. It had a really good premise with how the house is a giant machine. I think it'd make a cool game.
Yes.
The sound of it, yeah. I think that would be a really cool video game.
Maybe that's also why I kind of liked it, is because it has such a video game premise. It's very similar to Shadow of the Colossus, where literally you have a set number of beasts that you have to defeat. Where in 13 Ghosts, I guess they didn't really well, I don't want to spoil anything either. Never mind.
No spoilers.
Just wait till October. Watch it. Grab some popcorn.
Oh, we have to wait till October.
Yeah.
Damn,
That's
I like
such
the idea.
that's such a Halloweeny movie.
Well, Tim is gonna be gone this weekend, so I could.
But here's the thing:
Sneak it in.
Honestly, it's one of those movies you should watch with a group of friends because it's not great.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want you guys leaving the stream being like, oh, Tim said to watch 13 Ghosts.
It's be this like super artsy movie.
I mean, it does have great makeup and a lot of fun designs within it.
Oh, Casper. Jen says Tim really is the guy who needs an essay for a movie.
I love it. I love film. I love film discussion. I'm definitely one of those people where if I wasn't doing art full time, we were actually just watching Euphoria, and it was like this episode of South Park, and I was able to catch when things like a necklace was turned the other way or the clock was like a different time and different cuts.
Oh my god, yeah, you're super.
I really think being
detail-oriented.
on set as like an editor or like a consistency error person, I think I would have been really good at as well.
Well, you're really good at picking up details and everything. You kind of your eye goes to where no one, like my eye doesn't at least look at it. Like the necklace thing, I don't even see the necklace honestly.
So for those of you who are wondering, watch Euphoria. It was like season 2, episode 6, I believe, and or basically when Kat's trying to break up with her boyfriend, her necklace is constantly flipping over when it goes back to shots of her and the boyfriend talking. And to me, I'm like, how did no one on set catch this? Because it's such a clear like flip. It's not even like a subtle one. It's a very obvious flip.
I don't understand. I guess because you try to explain it to me. I don't understand how is it moving so much? But I guess it's not one take.
It's not one. They're doing it many times. So like I feel for them on some level because I know there will be takes that they do that have to use it. But I think that's why you need more people on set, like really looking for it. And it kind of bothers me when I see it nowadays. I mean, it's the whole Game of Thrones and the Starbucks cup. It's like the similar vibe where it's like, how did no one catch that? And I think
Oh my
because
God,
there's
that's right.
there's a lack of care that seems to be happening more and more, where like people just aren't giving it as much as they seem to used to. Uh, and doesn't even specifically apply just to film. I think a lot of us feel this way about uh, every industry. I mean, even with like service calls, even like with like us getting our fridge installed, it took 2.5 months for it to be like properly installed, and it just there seems to be this lack of finesse with quality right now. And then in the art world, the way that's kind of affecting it is social media is conditioning so many of us now to have like these quick creations that appeals to a broad audience. So to do art that is more tailored to like a niche or a specific taste, it's just not favorable as much as it used to be. And that's why I think you're seeing a lot more clones of artists that are already well known. Like I see a lot of Loesch clones, um, and I see a lot of like raw straw clones. And I get why, because younger artists are seeing like what's successful and they want to recreate that for themselves and have that success. But I think they're finding it in like the worst way possible.
Let's see where we left off here on comments.
Yeah, I feel like we missed a bunch.
Well, I jumped down to 13 ghosts for you.
Oh, did anyone see it or no?
Some people did, some people didn't.
Thank you for the vague answer.
I just want to make sure I'm going. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone's comment. All right. Think we're good. I'm going to keep going down here then. All right. My wife, oh yeah, here we go. Smeldo says, my wife just had me watch it. Was like a thriller. I really liked it.
You're talking about 13?
Yeah, 13. Joe Savino seen it. 13 Ghosts is great. It's not really a horror. It's kind of like a gory thriller.
Yeah, it's hard to explain it because it really isn't scary. I think that's why it's weird to even recommend it to people because I'm like, it's not scary and it's not great. Have fun. I think it's like a beautiful October party movie. And like one that you can actively make fun of while it's playing.
I like that. Sometimes it's fun having movies you can just make fun of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how Twilight is to me.
No.
I think Twilight's one of those movies that it's fun to watch because it's fun to make fun of while watching it.
You know, to each their own.
Tim has a reference photo up from WildStar.
Oh, this is WildStar?
Yeah. There's this really good MMO that was out. I don't know if anyone played it. It was called WildStar. And then it closed. But I thought the art for the game was actually really cute. It was like a mixture of WoW with a sci-fi kind of feel. It was a good combination, I guess. Elena says, oh, I like the storefront idea. Maybe something they harvest? There we go.
Right, I'm thinking the truffles if he has a pet pig. I feel like that makes the most sense to me.
Nothing magical, you think? Just sell the truffles?
Well, if it was his grandpa's shop and if he wasn't magical, it wouldn't make sense.
Oh, I guess.
So you got to be thinking narratively. Like, what would he have been selling before?
Could the kids infuse magic in them or something? I don't know. Into the truffles.
I mean, maybe the kid's trying to like grow his own type of truffle. Like maybe the grandfather has to walk a long way to like a separate patch to get the truffles, and to have the pig find them. And the grandson wants to make it easier on him, and so he's trying to like grow truffles in the front yard.
Is there a pond in the front yard or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So frogs?
I mean, yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hannah says, Josh, you could think about doing a weekend piano stream.
I mean, yeah.
Perhaps. I definitely want to keep practicing some more. I mean, the hour a day has been really helpful, surprisingly. I don't think I've ever given myself space to just practice it for an hour a day, but practice actually does make a difference. I'm learning. I'm learning. Right now, I'm learning River Flows in You. Because it's one of those songs that I feel like if you play the piano, you should know how to play that song. So I'm trying to get it down. I'm getting there. I'm like halfway through. Ethan says the 13 Ghosts Scooby Doo show came out in 1985. I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, thank you, Michael Robinson, for subscribing.
So I wonder if 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, they must have based off the old one you're talking about, Tim. If it was 1985.
I mean, maybe. It's a very specific movie. I personally don't see Scooby-Doo creators being like, yes, this is the movie we're going to base a concept off of. But maybe.
Maybe, perhaps. Abdurn says, really nice, clean line work.
You know what's funny is I kind of hate this.
What?
Yeah, like looking at it, I'm just not... I feel like I didn't get my thumbnail right. And it's weird doing it live because I feel like normally if I was just on my own, I would have restarted by now. So I've been trying to like tinker with it to make it work, but I'm just not vibing with it. Who knows? Maybe I can tinker with it some more and find a place where I like it more. Because I feel like I'm relying right now on edging it out and giving it kind of that cleaner aesthetic, but I just don't, I don't know. Not feeling it.
Do you want it to be more not as line?
It just looks like jumbled shapes kind of pushed together, which I like. When I see environment stuff that I like, it feels more purposeful. Where like I don't know why someone would build a roof like this attached to here and then not have this be level. I guess maybe I could. I'm going to play around for a second. So if you could just keep asking questions.
Yes. Amy says Joe and I worked together for a while.
Oh, that's right. I actually think I remember that.
Joe says, I still can't believe you haven't gotten your pig, by the way.
I know. I found out where I live, too. They actually do allow it. But I found out pigs are more clingy than dogs, apparently. And I can't even... I can barely handle cats. I mean, I love cats now, but I think if I was to really dedicate myself to an animal,
I mean,
it would be a pig.
We have the backyard for a pig. It'd be cute. I don't know how the cats would be with a pig, though.
Probably not great.
Actually, Astrid, no, because the piggy might be a nap a lot. I don't know. I think a pig would be really fun, though. Amy says, one of my favorites is the costumes in the background of the office scene in Moulin Rouge.
I mean, totally agree.
I feel like I jumped. One thing YouTube does is it'll scroll down. It doesn't like keep your space, so I lose comments. So I'm really sorry if I missed someone's comment. I'm not doing it intentionally, I promise. Casper.
Yeah. Hi, baby Casper.
She's moving to light. Hey, sweetie.
Does that feel better? What do you guys think? Let me know.
The lighting? Or...
No, the addition.
Oh. Oh yeah, I like that. Jen says, I can see superhero movies romanticizing vigilantism. I can never say that word. I can kind of see it in the old crime stories when the main character wasn't a cop. And then Jen says, mushrooms are often associated with witches and herbs. So maybe a lot of customers are witches.
Oh. Actually, that would work because that could be how the son and the wife met then.
Oh. Oh, that's really cute. Comes to buy the mushrooms, falls in love.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim, I'm really liking this.
I mean, great.
Oh.
I think it's like, if the artist doesn't like what they're doing, no matter how many times people will compliment or like say they like it, it just, you can't force yourself to like something that you know you don't. But I'm also an artist that is totally aware that if you want to like it, you gotta then work with it. Like, change what you don't like.
Ruin Wonderland says maybe he could sell something self-made. I kind of like the idea that in the world where there's magic, there's still people that appreciate handmade things.
Oh, actually, yeah, I like that idea a lot.
Oscar says, I'm trying to learn every Yumura piece except for River Flows in You. So you're doing the opposite of me. I don't know. Maybe I'll try the other ones out. It's definitely fun just playing piano again, though. And I'm learning too, once you start practicing more, oh my God.
What?
There's a bunny and a bird chasing each other. No, I feel like once you start practicing too, I played when I was younger, so it's all just, it comes back really quickly, thankfully. Elena says, River Flows New is one of those pieces I always wanted to learn on the piano and then never did. You can do it, Elena. Just an hour a day. And not even, I mean, whatever time you have. 30 minutes a day even too. And I usually just try to I limit myself to learning at least 4 measures a day. And then I just keep building up every day as I go. Unless I pick up the 4 measures really quickly, then I'll keep going. But I usually give myself 4 measures a day, build it, get it really down well, and then play from the start to where I got to, and try to do it without making an error. I get really frustrated though too. That's one part of playing piano is if you mess up, you get really frustrated. Joe says the basic thought would be an apothecary, no? Even just ingredients for potions to keep it not magic, but they can like enchant the pig to sniff out specific herbs, not just truffles.
Oh, that I like.
Yeah, kind of like this idea now that he kind of gets the ingredients for what the witches use for stuff.
But I like the idea that it's unintentional.
Yeah.
Like, he's just an apothecary type salesperson, and then it just happens that a lot of witches get from him their wares.
St. Hudson Apothecary says, just keep swimming.
Right. Yep.
You got this. Elena says, what if you actually started over and show us how sometimes you just need to?
100%. All right.
Wait, serious?
Yeah. Nope.
I'm putting this up on my wall. Okay.
That was my initial sketch.
Tim does do this. Not a lot, but you do this. Oscar says, living with myself is living with one pig too many. Oscar. Sarah and Destiny says, do you get something out of the new season of Euphoria in terms of art inspiration or visuals? I personally love the dramatic and more theatrical lighting they've been using.
Oh yeah, like episode 1 I thought was really, really well shot, really well done. But to be honest, I think most of the season I have not cared for almost at all. Uh, I I get pulled out of the story a lot, especially with things being like over exaggerated to the point where like I know it's supposed to be borderline a satire of high school and like taking things to the extreme, especially with the drug side of stuff. But I feel like they're kind of assassinating characters left and right. Like Cassie is kind of unwatchable at this point, especially the whole triangle with Nate. I mean, I won't spoil anything, but the whole story arc with Nate and Maddie, and then the other triangle of Rue, Jules, and the new character. It was just a lot of things that I don't know. I didn't necessarily care for that much, but I will say they always do a good job with directing and lighting and all that stuff. So that is something I can always appreciate from them.
Yeah, this season's been kind of a 6 out of 10 to me, but we'll see. There's still more to go.
Actually, oh, we already only have an hour left.
Yeah.
You know what then? I might just continue on this one, even though it's a scrap, and then call it up as practice. So I might redo this in the future because I like the story of the characters and whatnot, but I'm going to see this as like a practice then for the actual final. So I'm going to take anything that I can learn from this and then apply it to the next drawing. I didn't realize that an hour already passed.
Joe says, I went to a party where my friend owned a pig. I spent the entire party in the pen with that big boy.
Yeah.
I think I would too. That's like a dog at a party, but even better. Jen says, I'm getting 101 Dalmatians vibes.
Oh no.
Oh, actually, the house though.
Oh, oops. That's not even on straight.
Jim asks, what's
101 Dalmatian vibe.
You know the house?
No.
Tim.
Because that's definitely not what I'm going for. I mean, I knew I was kind of taking a risk doing an environment, considering I never do environments.
Jim asks, what's the paper size you're working on?
So this is 11 by 14. Normally I work on this size paper or a 9 by 12.
Elena says, there's this little thing making learning river flows in you harder. I no longer have access to a piano. Yeah, that can make it a little tricky. I'm fortunate enough that I have a keyboard. So I used to play in the church I went to growing up. I used to play the piano for it. And actually, Hannah, who's in the chat, played the violin. So we got to play piano and violin together, which I miss doing. So I would love to do that again. Yeah, I'm fortunate that Tim has a piano too that was a hand-me-down from his family that we have. And then I have a keyboard. And then I also have a little mini keyboard that I use for just if I just want to play around without a big piano in the way. Yeah, and also how much are keyboards to you, Lena? Because I know there's some, you can get pretty cheap keyboards here at least, but I know if you want something that actually is like the full amount of keys, has the weighted keys, that can start adding up pretty quickly too. Oscar says, I think expanding the house is better. I like if it's chaotic and weird. It'd be more interesting. I like the idea of someone just kept adding on to the building.
I do like that. I don't know if you've ever played Edith Finch. It's like my favorite game of 2020. But yeah, they just kept building onto the house, and it did have this like crazy nonsensical element to it, which I really liked, and it was endearing. I don't know if it's just I'm not digging the shapes, and I don't like that the archway and this glass panel are like on the same plane, and then this is pretty much on the same plane as this. To like keep things interesting, usually you want to, I mean, I guess I could change that right now. Do I make the, actually let's do a poll. Should I make the stone wall entrance smaller or the glass thing on the side taller? Joe, Tim, no. Was that on starting over?
Yes. The way you just ripped that off of there. Okay, so the question will be, should the door
So
or
I guess,
the...
okay, so glass room taller or stone walk smaller?
Which should... What did I just click? There we go. Which should... Why does it do that
What are you doing?
when I start typing?
Your keyboard's on F.
Which should be taller? Grass archway or the glass, the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The poll is live.
This is so frustrating. I think because architecture is still so new to me, there's still so much. Wait, don't watch me draw.
I'll look at your iPad screen.
I think there's still the sense of like I'm uncomfortable with it. Ugh, and then knowing people are watching this live, no.
Oh, Tim. Jen says the pig could also serve multi-purpose as a guard pig because they are big and strong and omnivores.
I mean, true.
Hannah says currently saving for a violin. One day soon we will play together. Yes. I miss playing piano with an instrument. Because even guitar, I'm like, I'll take anything. Because Tim's friend Sean can play the guitar. So I was like, Sean, we should play, but doesn't have a guitar here. So one day. Elena says an electrical keyboard is one of the things on my long list of things I'd like when I can afford it. I love the keyboard's really nice too because recording's really easy with it. I obviously love the sound of an acoustic piano though, so I try to play in that as much as I can just because the feel of it, the sound of it's really good. I don't know if you've ever seen those digital pianos though. I kind of want to get one of those one day too. Like once my keyboard dies, I think I'll look into a digital piano because those are just really nice. Jen says, I saw some concept art for the environments of 101 Dalmatians, and it is the charming use of buildings kind of stuffed together in a limited space. Yeah, I always thought the buildings in that movie were really cute. And then Cruella's mansion was really cool.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not vibing with this.
Jen says, making me choose, how dare you? Let's see where our poll's at right now. All right, so far the glass window is winning.
All right, let me try that then. How much is it winning by? Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be the winner then. We're going to try making this bigger.
Kitten Island says, I really love watching your videos and streams. They have acted as artist rehabilitation for me since my 5-hand surgery. That being said, can you please buy a good microphone? Whenever your videos end, my TV makes My tinnitus go off. Whenever your videos end, my TV goes off like crazy because of how quiet your videos are and how loud I have to turn it up. Yeah, I feel like we probably could turn the microphone up, maybe.
I mean, we did get a good one.
Maybe it is really quiet though. Maybe. Let's see.
I mean, some of the older videos might be quieter. Is this one okay for you guys?
Yeah, let us know if the microphone's too quiet. I never know the right volume to leave it at. I know, well, last week's it was a little quieter when I was watching it. But I don't know if maybe, like right now it seems okay. And I feel like we're right on that yellow dots. We're not going over, thankfully. Dynasty says, I think moving the archway to a different plane, either further back or further forward, would help. The scale would change a bit, but it would otherwise add some interest and difference. Like the plane that the archway's on.
I mean, I could move it back a little bit. I mean, now I'm like in such a anything can change mode right now. So yeah, let me try that. Ooh, I don't think it would have a point at the top.
Lena says, I much prefer an acoustic one, but I don't have room for one in my current place. Yeah, I mean, acoustic pianos too are such a pain to move. Lena says, to me, you're always very quiet. Now I have you on crazy volume on the TV, so when I turn back to another video, I have to turn it down a lot. We'll try to fix that next week then and figure out how to make it louder. Yeah, it's hard to do it because I don't want to do it on stream because then everyone's going to be having to turn their stuff down. But I think for next week's stream, I'll make sure to have it fixed. I'll make a note. Get that turned up. Okay, it says tinnitus. Never trust voice to text. Oh, Hannah's learning ukulele too. Oh, I love the ukulele, Hannah. That reminds me of Never Shout Never. Jen says, this is fine to me. I am, of course, listening with headphones with 30% on my computer and 40% on YouTube. Kat says, it's super valuable to see an artist we admire in the struggle and doing something vulnerable, riskier. So thank you. Watching an artist problem solve is really fascinating and encouraging.
I mean, you're watching it live. The struggle is real for me right now.
Jen says, I still miss the chipmunks, though.
Chipmunks? Oh, the audio.
Oh my God. Tim was not having that.
No.
Oscar says, Artie looks better, by the way. Try to play with asymmetry.
I think it's this middle part that I'm not super fan of, with like a straight line going down the center. I liked it in the thumbnail because I think it was more vague.
What if you play then with textures? Like, I think if you had maybe bricks and a different type of siding there.
It's the underlying structure I don't like.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Bird 3 for subscribing. kind of watching a huge problem solving video right now. And because I think environments are not my main thing, this is very weird for me to like problem solve because I don't have a point of reference. Gasper? I don't know what he's doing right now.
Oscar also says, what is the purpose of the archway? If it's the entrance to something, there should be something behind it. Encapsulate. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm sorry. Words are just hard for me. Encapsulating it.
Encapsulating.
Like, yeah. Okay, that word was difficult. Like a taller wall or something.
I was thinking it would be like an archway just to the backyard.
Oh, that's because of what you're thinking about doing back here, too. Casper.
Maybe it's too big. Maybe I do both. I know I did the poll for the things, but maybe it was both of them needed to be changed and edited.
Joe says, think about where the archway is leading to. Like a small courtyard made of stacked stones, like waist high maybe. We don't often see standalone arches. Could fill out the space more.
I guess I could I could make it appear more like it is just a little gate to the backyard. So if I put a little door thing here. You know, something where it's like a gated. I
don't know, TM. So let's see. Oh, Casper. He's actually just chilling out. The little Ghibli stove, though.
Oof. Yeah, this is not great, guys. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna finish it out and then chalk this one up as a learning experience. I don't think I will save this YouTube video because I get really self-conscious about videos where they don't go well.
I think, well, I don't know. People appreciate seeing that, though. Asia says, I love your art.
Oh, thank you. Not the biggest fan myself right now.
I was keeping track of timestamps, just in case.
I think this one might be too embarrassing to keep. I think because I know in my heart I can do better than this.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Oscar's idea, too, of adding to the building, I do kind of like that. Kind of think of Howells or something. I mean, what if you just
at this point, if I'm scrapping this anyways, I might as well play with like crazy shapes.
Yeah. I always think of the Weasley's house in Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just like stacked on top of itself, basically. Oscar says, oh, come on, Tim. It's amazing for so many reasons, and it'd be even greater if you then show your progression. I agree. Krina says, I'm so sorry seeing you struggling. Still like it though.
Like I said, if this is gonna be something I'm gonna throw up as a learning experience, I might as well go crazy with it then. So I'm gonna imagine this like bungalow turned into this crazy big thing.
Oh. Dynasty says, I've just started drawing again after several years of feeling uncomfortable with it. I used to draw all the time. I lost the fun of it in college. I'm enjoying the stream and your experimentation. It's comforting to know others struggle, even artists you admire. I'm persevering through an idea to see where it leads. I'm too anxious about making mistakes now, even if no one sees my work.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you're getting back into it, though. I mean, it's way easier to struggle when you're not on a live stream. But I guess if you guys enjoy kind of seeing, like, okay, what happens when, things aren't going your way, and if I was already in the mode of like, okay, this is a learning thing, then let's just get crazy with it. Let's just see what happens, good or bad, and then we'll take it from there.
Jim says the progress you made in only an hour is too OP.
Guys, you're too flattery. Thank you, but we'll see what comes of this.
Krina says, how about the middle part as a tower?
Not exactly sure what you mean.
Maybe instead of it being stopping there, just have it go crazy. A curvy
I mean,
tower.
I could take the tower out. Maybe that's bothering me. I don't know.
I love how you just demolished that archway and you just built behind it right away.
Well, it's almost like that's why I thought the thumbnail was like a good indicator, but then actually putting it to a bigger scale, I didn't like the look it was giving off, which I guess can happen. So it's not like a uncommon thing where I do a thumbnail and then I bring it into realization and I hate it. I'm like, oh no, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be.
Kieran says it's beautiful even though that it's not your vision of what you want it.
Guys, you are too nice right now. You don't have to flatter me. You can be like, Tim, that looks terrible.
It looks awful.
Thank you.
That's what you wanted to hear, right?
Masochist.
Oh my god. Elena says, okay, now time to find inspiration for what to draw next. Have taken care of chores till now. It is time to draw.
Yeah, have fun with it. I mean, maybe see today as like an experiment day, kind of like how I'm doing.
Kerna says crazy is usually the best, like digging for gold. Asya says seeing others draw and make mistakes encourages me to draw and try my hardest. And Kieran says totally enjoy watching your process.
Well, thank you guys.
Dynasty, let's get crazy with it.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Oscar says, I was also thinking about the Harry Potter thing, or something like the style of Tim Burton-ish. Don't know if that's it, but crooked. Like more crooked, windy.
I mean, I could go more
structures.
whimsical, but I do like when fantasy has this like rooted realism element. I think that's why this bothers me so much, is because it's too mismatchy. Like, it wouldn't make sense on an architectural level. You know what? I keep talking about how this bothers me so much. Why don't I just take it out?
Jim says that's the problem I have with thumbnails. They look so cute, but then you draw it bigger.
Yeah, I feel like that does happen sometimes. And I'm like, Tim, what are you doing?
Joe says, I think you called it earlier. It's the super straight line right down the middle. It kind of stops your eye.
Right. Let's try to fix that. We're gonna get rid of this middle line. Oh wait, Josh, could you close the curtain a little bit? The sun's starting to.
Oh, there's the sun. Oh, sorry, I don't want to wiggle the chair.
Okay, so I'm thinking there will be this front house portion. Maybe like here. And that way that line then gets pushed way over to the side. How do we feel about that? No. I don't like that either. Let me look at my reference board here.
Oscar says maybe a tree house connecting to the building, close to nature.
Like this pathway?
Something, yeah, connected to a tree house. Jim says, oh my god, I love those arches. Suddenly it's epic.
It's something. I'm gonna try doing like a balcony of sorts here.
I mean, kind of like the idea that it started off as just his plain home, and then maybe once his wife, who was the witch or something, came along, the parts that were added then to it were more magical. So it's like a mix of the foundation of a normal kind of realistic home.
Well, that's what I was going for. Like I said, I'm not crazy about this, but I'm gonna just render things and play with it and then see this as like a giant experimentation.
Or you could add a crazy water spout too. Lots of good ideas.
Right? This has been an interesting one.
We had a huge kind of ice storm yesterday, so everything outside still is kind of shiny.
I don't know, maybe I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. I'm gonna play with it.
I mean, I think it's just cool to see you doing something out of your comfort zone to me.
Oh, maybe that? This kind of gives me like Full House vibe.
What if a waterfall is coming outside of the house?
Like where?
there. Like, no.
I mean, I could try, see what that looks like.
Yeah, I have no idea. I love those arches though. That reminds me of, actually I don't know. Let's say Lord of the Rings a little bit, because they always use really giant archways, which I love. Like imagine walking underneath something that big.
I mean, to be honest, it's kind of like every fantasy cliche. I think of like Shadow of the Colossus, the bridge.
Oh, the giant, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a cool aesthetic though, so I don't think it's bad or anything.
No, I don't think a waterfall there makes sense.
Just a long shot.
I mean, good to see.
Oscar says it seems like you're going for a more beautiful, thought out architecture and soft aesthetics. Maybe then add more nature, like flowers and maybe ivy climbing up the building.
Yeah, that could be. I think it's because I don't like the foundation of the house right now. So like any element added on top feels like polish, but it's like the foundation I'm struggling with, I think.
I don't know if maybe adding the texture to the building though, and siding and stuff would add to it. I don't know.
But like what I'm saying is it's the underlying structure that I think is the problem.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Jim recommended Pontevicio in Florence for just ideas too.
I don't know if I'm familiar.
Oh, like that? It's a bridge of homes and buildings.
Oh, I mean, actually, yeah, I guess I could try adding like windows and stuff on this. Maybe it's like this walkway.
Oh, that's really cool. It's really cool, but I could not see myself being comfortable living. Look, it hangs over the water.
Yeah.
That's so
It's
weird.
cool though.
Also, too, there's the stream follow along channel. Oh, let's see. Oh, people have been posting in here already. I don't know if you had that pulled up.
Oh,
There's some
no.
ideas.
Wait,
I honestly totally forgot about to check that channel too myself.
Oh, I do have Discord on here. So I'm working on my iPad.
Ooh, I love this treehouse.
Oh yeah, these are pretty cool.
But yeah, there is the on the Discord, it's the stream follow along channel. Sorry. And there you can also post anything you're working on while this stream's going on right now too.
Yeah, because I think when I redo this for my actual drawing, I think I'll make this just much smaller with like just a few additions and then really focus on like the garden and the area around it.
So the house itself would be smaller subject matter and then more landscape around it?
I think I would still do the same shape-ish, but I would take this out and then have this feel like it made more sense connecting. I mean, I guess it does make sense that this was challenging and kind of a struggle because I've never done this before. So for me, I think I'm learning a lot even just doing this live right now.
Kitten Island says to redo my comment. I love watching your content. It's helped me grow my artistic skills and sense of wonder since losing my original skills due to a cyst, trigger fingers, and 5 hand surgeries.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, thank you for what you guys do.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that for you. That sounds terrible.
But it sounds like you're kind of getting back into drawing then, right?
Yeah, it's great
Yeah,
that
that's exciting
you're
to
taking the
hear.
plunge back into it.
Natalie says you have a Discord. Yes, it should be linked below. And I'll also do a link in the chat too, just in case.
I know something I do want to do when I start doing more environment stuff is avoid doing this simple tower. I think this is kind of like beginner's architecture for fantasy design. And I think I want to avoid stuff like that right from the get-go if I can. Because like, I think it's cute to have maybe a couple, but I think because this is almost such a focal point in this. And I think I also have a big issue with making things too boxy. And I need to learn how to, I don't know, how to break those forms. So I think that'll be my challenge to myself the next time I attempt this. Because so much of what I enjoy creating is character-centric. So then to play into that with an environment is like the real challenge then. Maybe just take the tower out.
Oh yeah, that actually helped a lot.
See, and I think I subconsciously do, see how these chimneys are lined up? So like that should be a no-no. Because you want things on different planes.
Oscar says Hollow Knight vibes.
With the archways?
Oh yeah, probably. Because yeah, they have the big archways there. I liked that game. I watched you play it. I never played it myself though.
Yeah, Hollow Knight was pretty great.
I might try it out sometime. Well, because the new one's coming out soon, I thought. Should be this year. Oh, there's no date yet. The glass windows officially won the poll. Joe says maybe make the middle roof with a rounded top, almost like a windmill, and it plays into all the arches you have.
Yeah, I guess I could try that. I think it's so tough because if I made this circular... See, it's hard for me to even think this way because I'm not an architecture person by trade.
What if, because this is like an opening kind of set into the home, right? It's like an archway.
Well, this is the door.
Like, no, I mean this part here.
Yeah.
Because like, what if you had a really cool chandelier or something hanging just there? Like lighting or something.
Well, this is the outside.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like an outdoor light that hangs or something.
I guess I could do, yeah, like a kind of a hanging lamp.
Like fireflies around or something. I don't know. Well, it's timely during the day though, so. Hmm.
Little pig sign.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Little piggy dome.
How much time do we got? Okay, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Because if you guys have any last minute comments or questions.
Let us know. Oscar asks, does he live close to the town or far away?
Yeah, you guys were. I would assume kind of far, or like medium away. Close enough to walk, but far enough where it would be a bit of a hike. I feel like we're really going to get crazy then in this last. I'm just going to have this go straight up.
Oh my. Oh, Casper, hi.
Oh, well, thank you, WDW87, for subscribing.
Oh, this is fun. And a little extra height to it all.
Well, I think because I know this is kind of a throwaway piece at this point, might as well just
go crazy.
Go crazy.
Hannah asks, do you use a special chair for your drawing desk? I struggle with upper back neck pain when I sit at my desk and create art. I was wondering what you use or do to help with that.
It's weird. Normally I sit like on a couch watching movies or TV, and I usually like arch like an egg. I sit back and then I lift my knees up and I draw kind of on my knees. So like sitting in a desk like this is actually not super normal for me, but I am sitting on a purple, it's called a purple cushion. It does help a little bit, just having a nicer thing to sit on. But I will say, I think the best way to draw, or at least the way I was taught, is you're supposed to have the actual paper at like an angle, and you're supposed to draw more with your wrist. So you should be sitting more up straight. So what I'm doing right now on the stream, like hunching over like this, is usually not recommended at all. And I think even for me, I don't like drawing in this position a lot either. I have a bed set up in this room, and normally I'll go sit over there and draw sometimes because I try to do my daily hours in here. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. But I know some people will find chairs specifically meant for like long sitting. But to be honest, you're really not supposed to sit more than an hour at a time. So every hour you should be getting up anyways. So maybe it's not so much the chair you should be looking into, but it's taking more breaks for yourself throughout your workday.
Aren't you supposed to use, it's like your whole arm too, right?
Mm-hmm. Draw with your elbow.
Okay.
Or your whole shoulder arm.
Oscar says, the giant bridge only makes sense if it connects to an even bigger structure.
Yes. I kind of like the idea of there might be like a big river or something like right here. So then maybe this helps them, like, I don't know what is over here, but then they would like climb up and then they would literally walk through that to get over the waterfall or over the river. It's interesting. I didn't realize how much I rely on straight lines in architecture, so that's going to be a habit I'm going to have to learn to break.
Do you think doing more rounds or going with more of a looser kind of?
I think having structures that aren't either just facing the camera or facing away, like more that are angled. I mean, maybe isometric or more of the 3/4 will be my calling for environments. We will find out.
The journey begins. Any other last minute questions? Feel free to send them in. Double check Discord too.
Oof. Yeah, this is a doozy.
Oh my gosh. Karina is sending bridge houses in Germany. Look at these.
Oh, geez, those are cool.
Look at that. I love how they look. I would never be able to. I'd be so nervous being in that. I know why. I'm sure going in, like, I'd visit it, okay, but living in it, I think in the back of my head, I'd always have this inevitable, like, this isn't going to last forever. Oh, they're so cute, though. Good use of space, too.
So I think something else I'm learning with architecture, which I think could have helped me a lot, is those initial shapes and that structure that you create in the start, it matters so much. And it's funny because it's very similar to how I treat characters. It's like that initial pose and what you do matters so much to the overall end result. And I think because I wasn't super strong on the initial pose, I mean, maybe I should have started with just like simple shapes that I felt strong with before the stream started. Because I think with the stream, I always feel the sense of like urgency. And I just kind of went with whatever shapes I was given. And then this is kind of what created. And I think I was forcing the story too much. Like I needed it to fit this particular story. Where I think I should have gone into the stream and be like, okay, whatever architecture happens, it happens. Because clearly I've gotten so far away from the initial story that the house doesn't really make sense for it. And now we're kind of just playing it up to experimentation. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with this one right now. I think I am actually learning a lot about what I naturally gravitate to in environments and then how to progress in the future with my environments. And I think because with the Aquatica Nautica I'm doing right now, and there's so much with the environment stuff up there, but it's very similar in shapes. It's a lot of like perfume glass looking things. And I think I'm able to play with that shape more than I am with like these rigid brick and mortar type buildings.
Joe says, keep at it, Tim. You'll get there one day.
Oh, Joe, thank you.
Felix says, I missed today's stream. Love seeing you try architecture. Oscar, he's going to remove it, Felix, the video. Jim says it's a scrap.
Yeah, this one I don't think is going to uphold.
Felix says, no, why? It looks nice. Tim's not feeling this one, Felix.
Which is, I guess it's good for you guys to see on stream too. Like, there will be times that I really struggle to create something. And I think that's part of the type of artist I want to be, though, is I don't want to just be an artist that can manufacture, pretty girl with flowing hair for every single drawing over and over. I don't want to be a rinse, wash, repeat artist. And I think sometimes, like today, it's frustrating because then you'll try something new and you are terrible at it. And you're like, ha. But it's just part of the process. And thankfully I'm in a good place mentally where I understand that, yeah, they're going to have stuff like this where you're not feeling it and you'll just move on to the next with a better sense of what more you want to go into the next one. And I hope that that's something you guys can take away from this when you do your own stuff, is to not let a drawing that you feel didn't work or didn't hit what you wanted it to like totally bring you down mentally. Just see it as a learning opportunity for growth, and then take that into your next piece.
Jay Will says, I draw anime like this. Felix says, I love Victorian greenhouses and conservatories. It's a vibe, and I want to build one someday. I know we definitely want to have a greenhouse at our house sometime, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think a greenhouse would be really fun, especially for our really crazy winters here. It'd be nice to be able to still grow stuff here and there. Oscar says, if you remove this video, you better deliver next time.
Right. And then watch next week, I'll just do pretty girl with flowing hair. I think if I do an environment again, I think I'm going to not have such a set story. I think because I rely so much on story and narrative in my work now, or not rely on it necessarily, but I genuinely like narrative, that I feel like everything has to have a purpose. Where if I'm learning how to even do environments, maybe that's not the best, because then I feel like I'm constrained to that narrative, where I think I might have more freedom if it's just kind of a free-for-all.
Oh my god, Light Lolly, I'm sorry, I was calling you Jim. I got you mixed with Lights and C. There's 2 lights in here. Ruin Wonderland says, I love these lives. Thank you for letting us see how you work.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm going to be doing these every Wednesday. I'll be in California actually tomorrow, as I'm doing a kind of an artist meetup with a bunch of other artists. I'm going to be, so if you guys know Devin L. Kurtz, Naomi Van Doren, and then Justin Donaldson, I'm going to be hanging out with them in Cali. We're going to have kind of an art retreat / kind of a catch-up. So I'll be sharing stories about that starting tomorrow. It's crazy that I'll be leaving tomorrow, but I'm pretty excited about it.
Kieran says, what does your shirt say?
Oh, yes, we could Todd. This was my undershirt. It got so hot in here, I had to take off my sweater. Who gave this to me? Oh, it was at Gen Con, I think I got it. Or no, I think your parents got this for me.
Either my parents or one of your cousins, I would think, yeah. Actually, I think it was my parents that got you this one.
I think it was your parents.
Felix says, I don't know what you don't like about it. It's a great house with a lot of character that totally fits your aesthetic. What's the hang-up?
Really? Well, I'm glad you think so.
As Tim's like drawing a tornado that's about to like take this thing out.
Yeah, right. There's lightning coming in from the side. I like I said earlier, I think it's one of those things where if you aren't personally vibing with it, no matter what anyone else says about it, it won't feel great. And I think the opposite, well, I don't know. I think this to me was a learning experience. So I'm not seeing it as a failure, but I'm seeing it as a failure in the sense of what I wanted to create. I think I failed on that aspect, but I think it was a learning experience. So it was a success in that way, where like I learned a lot. So when I go into an environment again, I'll take what I learned from this into that.
Jen says Yoko Taro gives his characters one story for the artist and then completely changes it when the art is finished. Yoko Taro gives his characters one story for the artist and then completely changes it when the art is finished.
Oh, I mean, I do like that too, because it's basically letting the art evolve and grow as you work on it. So I'm definitely an organic artist type fan, where I started with this boy and the grandpa idea, but it could have honestly changed into way more than that. But what's crazy is I actually do like the storyline. I think next time I'll take way more time on the initial stages of building the house and render it out from there.
Kitten Island says, no, don't remove this video. I need it for motivation because you guys so kindly replied to me and my art issues. Well, happy to hear that you're drawing again. Let's see. Tim's going to have to think it through afterwards, probably.
I mean, maybe we'll keep this, but I want you all to know that this is not an environment that I'm definitely not posting.
Wait,
this.
let's do a deal. Let's make it private. We'll put a link on Discord. So at least you can still watch it. If you're on Discord, you can link it.
No, I don't like that either. We'll make it public, but
Okay.
I'm letting everyone know now this is not something I'm like, yes, like finest moment of 2022, my art career, it all amalgamated into this. This is very much like we're learning here. We're learning together.
Like Elliot says, what if you start with reference images since it's out of comfort zone?
Oh, I did. And like the references have been really nice. I have my iPad on the side here, and I'm just kind of every now and then I'll look over and pick an image that I think is vibing with the section I'm working on. I think a little bit of the issue is the underlying shapes. I'm still learning how to do underlying shapes when it comes to architecture, where I think I'm still thinking very flat and very much like towards the camera, and it's hard for me to see something in like a perspective way without it completely shifting my entire view of the house or the architecture itself. And I'm not saying that I don't like when it's like straight on architecture, but I think clearly I'm struggling with understanding how the house would be built from the inside and have the walls like have a purpose to it. And like I don't think this archway would then sit on the side of the house here. There'd probably be another pole or something, and then it would go into the house. I think this roof being separate of this roof, there'd be like a moat in the middle that would collect too much water possibly, and maybe that would be like a gutter system that I could think of. But yeah, this to me was a good learning experience. I'm glad that you guys got to see it, even though it was a little frustrating at the midpoint. I think it was more frustrating for me because I've been doing so much of the architecture stuff on the Aquatica Nautica piece that I felt like maybe too overconfident and being like, let's do this, I got it, head first. But I think I need a little more practice. So that's where I'm going to kind of leave this one. Oh, we're already past the time. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to this experimental live stream. I will be back for next week. I'll be back from Cali on late Sunday. But next week, I'll probably do another start from scrap, but I'll probably do a character again just so I can reel it back. And then maybe I'll do an environment the week after, and then maybe we'll see from there. But I'll let you guys know early next week. I hope the rest of your Wednesday is wonderful, and I hope this inspired you guys to see that we all can struggle, and it's okay. You know, you just see it as a learning experience and then grow from there. Any last words for you?
No, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for showing up today. Appreciate you coming in here.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to call it there. Thank you so much. And all of my social links, the Discord, the Patreon, and everything else, the Etsy shop is below. So if you want to check that out, you can. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you next week. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.